So, guess what I did? Sent the hubby probably hundreds and hundreds of photos and hours of videos of me masturbating and playing with toys while he was on the road.
It's time again for the May Wild West Show, the podcast where we tell the hedonistic adventures of myself and my husband in the modern American Wild West, where outdoor sex results in frostbite at least 6 months out of the year. The hubby, Mr. West, and I swing, sometimes hot wife, but mostly just enjoy spending time with our friends and having kinky sex. Our motto is, we'll try anything once for science. If you're looking for completely inappropriate stories and adult content, you've come to the right place, because this podcast is intended for entertainment purposes only and shouldn't be considered professional, medical, or sometimes good advice. The topics we talk about will be spicy, sexy, and not safe for work, kids, or your local PTA Karen. Now let's full send into today's episode.
Yep, during the years when Mr. West was either on the road or out of town, I probably sent more porn through the interwebs than I can even imagine. Probably just epic piles of gigabyte, megabytes, whatever they are, of porn. And I got pretty good at it. I'm just saying, like, because you like the photos and the pictures or in the videos,
Oh yeah.
and I would start doing them, and then of course, because you know how I have to like go to the nth degree, and so then I would start coming up with like this whole like scenario thing and like different costumes and I,
Oh no, it was entertaining. I loved it. It things kept things fun while I was out there and nothing else to do.
and then I
Well,
sold.
besides drive, I guess.
Oh, yeah, probably shouldn't have been watching like homemade porn while you were driving, but
Yeah, it happens.
and then I sold pure romance sex toys, so I had like 1,000 sex toys. Okay, maybe not 1,000, but like a large drawer full of sex toys.
You still have a couple of drawers full of sex toys.
Well, yeah, I do, but it's because I like toys. Toys are your teammate, not your competition.
Right?
And on top of that, if you're gonna masturbate, who wants to do it by Braille? Like you're
I
Amish
can
or
see that.
something. Like you do it like you're Amish. No electric battery operated toys. Forget that crap. But
Right?
so I was always coming up with different like ways to do things and photo angles, and which probably ended up how we ended up with me having Reddit pages full of my naked pictures.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, I have a random question to ask you.
What's that?
What angle or like what position would you rather receive a video of me masturbating or playing with a toy? Like what angle do you think is the best angle?
I don't, I guess no on that. I guess there because it depends, I guess, what you're doing. But I would say while you're on your back.
Really? Like
I
legs
like
up in the
that.
air?
Yeah. Yeah, I like that one.
Really? See, I'm like maybe I'm
Yeah.
utilitarian or something, but I always figure like from the back, because if I bend over far enough, you can see everything that's going on. I mean, you're not going to see any boobs, but you can see everything else that's going on. So like it's like the whole show.
I like
But
that too. I mean, like I guess
but
it's more of a, it's a more of a what are in the mood for at the time sometimes because, sometimes I like it. I mean like I don't have like I'm not weird maybe in that sense. I don't have like a super like locked in preference on some of that.
well, I was just curious, like for like future, if I was going to make videos or something, like which one you liked better. So, I could tailor the videos to your
Mix it up.
mix it up, mix it up. Now, I will say that if I like watching the videos that you started sending me videos of you jacking off, and I have a thing for forearms and like arms in general. And so like when a guy's like stroking his cock and like his arm muscles are flexing and stuff. Like I think that's hot. And so like that's the part that like I mean, of course the dick too. But like you gotta have the arm in there. Otherwise, like that's my thing.
Right.
I mean, like that's just a given. As long as that's in there, I'm good. But I guess that kind of leads us to what today's episode is about. So today we have Mr. West here, and I figured we were going to talk about a little bit about masturbation because May is Masturbation Month. In fact, International Masturbation Month. Can you believe there's an international holiday for it?
Right. That's kind of crazy.
Who do you think that they actually send the application to create an international holiday? Like, who's the governing body of international holidays?
I don't know. Who come up with that one though? That's what I
Uh,
want to know.
well, so actually, I know who came up with it. It was a sex toys company called Good Vibrations. Surgeon General Jocelyn Elders said some things that like I semi agree with and semi don't agree with. But she said that basically the concept was is that if we would destigmatize masturbation and it teach that it was okay, that there would be less cases of AIDS. And this was back in the 90s. And because of what she said, which, like I said, I'm not really all about, we should teach our youth how to masturbate. Maybe that
No.
masturbating is like not the thing that's going to make you go blind or your palms turn hairy or like send you straight to hell. I mean, maybe we could teach them those things, but I think you should teach those things at home. Now, on the other hand, do I
Well, I
think
don't think
that
you should
like,
teach those things at all. Like
well,
I don't think masturbation
yeah,
should be taught. That they can figure out how to make that happy
that
all by
is true.
themselves.
That is true. I guess more taught that it's
It's
not the end of
okay.
the world if you do.
Right.
Like it's like
Right.
everybody does that.
Now don't be doing it in public. Like, just don't whip it out in class and be doing it. That shit.
Yeah, like I said, if you're
That'll
gonna
get you
do
put on the
that,
list.
if you're gonna play with yourself, you gotta play with yourself in your room.
Right.
So anyway, to support this Surgeon General, Good Vibrations came up with the idea of Masturbation Month. They picked May because, well, uh, masturbation may it sounds good, and it was as soon as they could actually get the whole thing sort of set up. So the first year was 95, and so we had originally a national masturbation month. Who, I mean, maybe I guess the president gets to decide that one, like rubber stamps, things like that. But sort of become a big deal, and they've even had a masturbate-a-thon to raise money for safer sex and sex health organizations. I don't know what a masturbate-a-thon is, but that is that's got to be some intense stuff there.
Interesting for sure, if nothing else.
Yeah, well, one would think that, I mean, he couldn't just like put that on TV.
Right?
Stay tuned for the thrilling end of this month's Masturbate-a-thon.
That's how we get National Masturbation Month. So the question is, if we're going to destigmatize it, like, is it actually good for you? Which it is, because I did some research there too. And it can release adrenaline, oxytocin, endorphins, and serotonin, which basically all the same things that your body releases when you have sex, just not quite to as great a degree. So, sex with your partner or with another person is going to do more for you, but masturbation still gives you that same release of those feel good hormones and endorphins.
Right.
And you know what the most healthy part about masturbation is?
Huh.
You can't get an STD.
Facts.
You're not getting anything from anybody else, at least.
Right? And it's a solo activity generally, or at least not one that's going to carry the risk of catching something, unless they got really dirty hands or something. Then I'd probably be concerned about letting somebody else touch that. But
Okay, so there's like I think there's like a couple of different kinds of masturbation. And I think like there's the one where you like actually are like horny, right? Where you're
Okay.
like you just need to get off. And so like you watch your porn, get off, or you just get off. Like that's like the normal one, right?
Okay.
And then I think there is the kind where you're like, okay, well, I need to like focus or I need to like relieve some stress or I need to so it's like a utilitarian get off.
Okay.
And I think that falls into like you get bored too, like utilitarian, like it's something to kill time,
Yeah,
you know?
probably. I'm sure at some point in time I've been like I've got time to kill. I might as well rub one out. I mean,
And then the last one is angry.
angry, like just
Yeah.
need to get off because you're just frustrated with life and it'll make you feel better. I think we've all
Well,
been there too.
or like when you're like you wanted to like have sex with your partner and you like ended up getting into a fight with them and you still want to get
Ah,
off, like the angry,
right, but
like
you're mad.
yeah,
Gotcha.
like that kind.
Makes sense.
I mean, I think that like if you're angry, like you're frustrated or whatever, that's still like that utilitarian.
Gotcha.
So which one do you think you do the most? Like, are you just like you're horny, so you're just gonna get off, or you're like you're
Right.
utilitarian?
Yeah, just horny. Just gonna get off. Yeah. I mean like I don't do it very often, so but I mean like if I do, that's pretty much it. Just horny.
And see, mine's always like utilitarian for the most part. I mean, like I guess there's times when you're horny, but like mine's like, huh, I'm bored. Huh, I'm all stressed out. Like I need to like figure out some way to motivate myself to do something with my life. Well, and like there's like guys use it, I guess, for like you jack off before you're gonna go like out on a date or something like that, so you don't get off like immediately if you end up having sex.
Right, right. To help them last longer, I can see that.
You don't need to do that.
Probably not.
Yeah, I know, like that. Mr. West is a champ. He some days last longer than I do. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so tired.
Yeah, it
You
can be a
wear me
problem
off.
sometimes. For me
You,
too, even. Like it's frustrating.
yeah, that is true. Like, I mean, that sounds like kind of like a first world problem, bitchy thing to complain about. But on the other
Might
hand,
be.
it's like it's a real problem. So the other thing I was thinking about is like, okay, it's not 1802 anymore. And actually, in 1802, they had a lot of mechanical vibrators. Like that was like the height of like the masturbation. Women would have what was called hysteria, and they would go to the doctor, and the doctor would like literally they had like steam engine ones, I think. Like it was, and the doctor would like use a vibrator or manually stimulate them to get them off, and that was the cure for hysteria. I
Right?
mean,
Remember
like
I remember this.
I saw some comedian who was telling jokes about how like if uh if that was something that you could use as a medical like that's a mental health cure, women would be up there like swiping their insurance cards left and right.
Right? Facts. I would say there was that one I showed you the other day. It was like a seat that they sat on. Like almost
Right?
looked like a bicycle seat or whatever. And then
Yeah.
it was old. It was like fucking ancient as shit. I don't even like they said it was like from the 1600s or some shit. I can't even remember. It was
Dude, the
crazy.
French in the 1600s were some kinky fuckers. Like they were really, really
Right?
kinky. Like
Right?
King Henry or Louis the 16th, and then King Henry the 8th in England was also kind of a perv. But he
Kind
was
of.
also a fat guy. So he had a special chair so he could like bang little skinny chicks without crushing them because he was this big old fat guy in the end.
Huh.
Creeper.
Well, there. That's weird.
So, I mean, creeper.
Right?
So I'm
He's
thinking though,
probably
like it's no longer the time period where a person has to like
hide the
you
fact that you masturbate.
well that or like do it manually. Like if you even like men don't have to do it manually anymore. And
Yeah,
it's
dude,
on
that shit all
Instagram.
creeps me out. No, no, that shit creeps me out, man. I ain't into it.
Dude, if I was a guy, I would totally use one of those.
One of the
It's
power jerkers.
mechanical. Yeah. Okay, seriously. Why would we want to get off by Braille? Like
I'm
we have
no man, I just don't.
vibrators. There are like the
That's what I'm saying. No, I'm good. I'm good.
guess what though?
Maybe for some guys, but not for me.
Okay, so you know how next week is my birthday?
Yeah,
Okay, so I possibly am going to get a fuck machine from a guy I met on Reddit who's a fan.
yeah.
Not the
That's
dildo
I remember you.
parts.
Well, yeah, no, I would say that's cool. I would say I remember you telling me
So
about
I'm
him.
so I'm kind of excited that I might actually get to have one of those because I mean I'm all about the so I mean
uh,
so and see here's the thing is like it's way better than like say just a straight vibrator doing it by yourself because the problem with vibrators is like okay so you know how you're not supposed to be able to shoot yourself in the head
right.
because you'll jerk right like the
Well,
majority
you
of people
can,
end up
yes, it's a common thing for people to
self
involuntarily jerk and to, because the body's trying to self-preserve itself.
yeah right self-preservation so that's the problem with vibrators is that like you get right to that point where like you're really gonna have like because like there's like you can have smaller orgasms as a woman or at least I can like there's like smaller ones and like they're good and they're usually the ones you get by yourself but like the ones that like blow your mind because you're just like uncontrollably orgasming or like whatever are very hard to do by yourself because you jerk
Your hand
your hand
pulls away.
jerks yeah. See, it's not like men where like you've got like a something to hang on to. Like you're trying to like hit a button with a round thing and hope that you don't like miss by millimeters.
Right?
I can't imagine trying to do that all the time just by hand. Talk about like jerking off by Braille.
Works pretty good.
Well, yeah, and here's the other thing. This is the same thing as with shaving as with masturbating. Men versus women. Men are all outies. Like their stuff is all out there, easy to see, easy to shave. Women's stuff, half of ours is innies and harder to shave, harder to see. I'm just saying, we
I
do
can
have a disadvantage here.
I can agree with that. As far as for self-pleasure, I think men have it much easier.
Yeah, probably why men do it more often. Well, that and girls get told that like good girls don't do that. Like you're not supposed to touch your no bits and stuff.
Right?
How dare you? She's a nice lady!
But on the other hand, you can do it with a friend. I mean, not like
You can.
probably your buddy, but I mean, you can if you want
I've
to do it with your buddy,
I've
but
heard that's a thing, like jerk mates or but
jerk
pals or
buds.
something. Jerk buds. Yeah, I was like, it's kind
Something
of
like that.
fucking weird, but you do you. I'm not judging. I mean, I kind of, I guess, because I said it's weird, but you're kind of fucking weird. But I mean, like, I'm not gonna like,
Yeah, but I bet you'd be all
yeah,
down if you saw two girls doing it together.
whatever. I know it's totally sexist. I'm a
I
pig.
don't.
What can I say?
You know
I'm
the
not.
reason why is because men are not as attractive when they do it. Now, personally, I have a real thing for like guys' arm muscles and like when you're jerking off, like your arms flex, and so like I'm down. But a
What's
lot
that
of
one
guys,
comedian? What's that
yeah,
one
dude,
comedian that
I
she
can't
was
remember her
talking
name with
about
the
that?
red
And she was
hair.
like, right, yeah, and she's talking about like guys are, like they start like hunched over in their, I mean, like, and they're going at the speed of light. She's like, I didn't even know that you could move your hand that fast,
And
and
that is such a fact.
I'm all like, so then after she says this, I'm sitting there thinking about
You
this,
get
and
like
I'm
an
going,
angry face,
ah,
like you're trying to jerk it off.
right, like it owes
Like
you something.
right.
And then you sit there, you're thinking about that, and you're like, fuck, man, I think I might do that once in a while. And I'm like, I don't know how we can move our hand that fast. I think God just made it that way.
I
He
can't
knew.
move mine hand that fast. That's why
That's what
I'm
I'm
like,
saying.
I mean, I can fiddle about, amateur jerk off, but like if you're gonna like actually try and like get somebody to come from jerking off, the chances that it's gonna happen from me doing it is not
That's because
great.
you ain't got no rhythm.
I have none whatsoever. And I do really good for like a half a second and then I lose my rhythm and then I have to start over again and like the starting and stopping
Sometimes it's better
probably
to just grab the back of her head and fuck her face.
there you go. There you go. So I'm just saying you
That's
can
not
mutually.
masturbation anymore, though. I
No, that's a
guess
blowjob. That's a
that's called
blowjob.
that's oral sex.
That is
So
oral
you've
sex.
moved on from the masturbation portion at that point. So
Yeah. So that's a different month. But did you know actually today, May 8th, is National Outdoor Intercourse Day. And literally, if it had not just snowed like 5 inches a couple of days ago and wasn't cold as shit out, like 45
40,
degrees and
yeah, I was like it's 40
entirely too
fucking
cold
degrees or
for
some shit.
outdoor sex, at least too much of it, I don't know,
Quickie
maybe we'll quickie it later. See if we can find a spot to go outdoors and quickie it later for National Intercourse Day. Outdoor Intercourse Day.
outdoor. You got to be outdoor
Yeah,
in
hooray,
public.
hooray for May 8th.
Public
No,
sex day.
yeah, National Outdoor Intercourse Day or Outdoor Intercourse Day. Dude, I lost it. It's gone. So there you go. So I wanted to discuss one other thing during today's episode. So this other lady, Curvy, who is on a podcast, the Hot Wife Chat, who I've talked to her on X and I've had Kit Kat on the show. She's the other host of the Hot Wife Chat, and Curvy is supposed to come on the chat sometime in the near future too. So anyway, I was talking to them the other day for a couple of minutes, and Curvy was talking about how she thinks she's got these opportunities and she's always like, "Oh, I don't know, should I do that or should I just, like be like, yes, sure, yes, I'll do that." And I, of course, told her that she should try the thing where like you put on the Batman mask.
There you go.
And I was like, just, like when you have the mask on, you're the yes person. And when you don't have the mask on, you can be your normal self. And you get to pick when you get to be the yes person. But, when you have your mask on, you're anonymous and can do whatever you want to,
Not a bad idea.
right? See, and here's the problem with me is that like I think I almost have to like figure out a way to run around with my mask on like 24/7 because it's when it goes to like especially with
We could we get it
new,
tattooed on,
right? That would be questionable.
or we could
Life
get it like
choices.
that semi-permanent paint. Uh, body art paint.
There you go.
It stays on for days and days. Like so, you
I,
could just go party with it for like a whole week.
there you go. That'd be kind of a
Party
kick
a
in the
whole week with a
pants.
mask on. That'd be kind of fun,
That'd be kind of a kick in the pants. Get some like stick on crystal things to put on there at different times,
right? Like totally bedazzle that shit.
right? Kind of like the vajazzle, except for on your face. So it'd be
Geez,
fajazzle.
I just came up with a fucking bomb ass idea. God
That is
damn,
actually kind of a good idea. Like probably like make $1 million idea.
right?
Too bad we don't know how to market things like
All
that.
right, fuck that. We just gotta figure out somebody that can paint that shit on so it like stays on semi-permanent. I mean, like, cause we can't have it be like running off while you're getting face fucked. I mean, like, it's gotta
Right.
stay
That's
on for several rounds,
because I mean like that would be perfect for like if you wanted to do videos and stuff is to have like a semi-permanent like but you don't want it to be like a permanent tattoo or like not a
No,
permanent
no, no,
tattoo
just
but
something that's like
not like like a wash or like a wearable off tattoo, not like that because that would be like too long and you don't want to like be Monday show up, but have it be some sort of like a paint that you have like a primer on that you have to use a special cleaner to get off like those lip stain things that Miranda was selling.
maybe we'll have to. I'm sure that somebody maybe will hear this and know something and can chime in
Right?
somewhere.
There you go. Because then when you like were videoing like over the weekend, you wouldn't have to remember to try and like fuck with a mask or something. You'd just be all like could go at any moment.
Right?
That would be bomb diggity.
Every once in a while, I come up with good shit.
So my point of all the time mask is that like I get these offers like to do XYZ or meet up with so and so. And then I get nervous because, well, like what if it's the wrong, it's something new. And then I get all this anxiety, right? Because like I get nerves and then I
A little
won't
bit.
just like commit and like pull the trigger. So in the moment, I'm good to go, but it's that whole like, okay, well, like I have to schedule it and plan it out, and then like what if something happens and then it doesn't work out, and then and then I get like freeze up.
It happens, I think.
So one of the things I was thinking is like if we were more intentional, like okay, so I thought up we came up with the blackout bingo idea, and the concept is you pick 25 things that you want to do, just like your bucket list, and you put it on a bingo card, right? And so every time you get a bingo, you get a prize, which we haven't figured out what our prizes are, so we'll have to do that too. Like what do we want if we get like five in a row?
I don't know.
I know, right? Like we'll have to think about that. But so you come up with 25 things that you want to do. Now, I did put on the website, we have ones that have like that are already made up that have like positions and like locations and then just like random things that you can, so like you don't even have to come up with your own one. Like there's some ones you can steal. But Mr. West and I haven't actually made one ourselves. Like I joked about a friend of mine had this whole idea. She kind of came up with the idea because she's got a real thing for law enforcement and first responders. And so she was joking about how her blackout bingo card, because she'd had sex with what, like a sheriff's deputy and a couple of firemen and a dispatcher and an EMT, and I can't remember what all else. And it was a kind of a joke. And so then she said, asked, so I came up with that this would actually be this really good idea.
Right?
But in typical me style, I never actually made our own blackout bingo card. I just came up with like the whole concept and then never actually followed through. So, what I was thinking we could do is we would come up with our card, and then next time on the episode, we're going to talk about I want to talk about exhibitionism and some of the crazy things that we've done as far as that goes, and like how we went, you know, have grown that kink, and it's like it's kind of a thing that we enjoy a lot now. So next
Right?
time, so I thought that the blackout bingo card would go well with that, and we can share what our ideas are for or what we're gonna have on our blackout bingo card, and then I will post it on the website, and other people can, if they want to, do the same challenges we are. So have you heard, speaking
Or
of challenges,
or
have you
judge
heard
us
it,
for ours.
or just for ours? There is that. Oh well. So did I tell you about these hot wife challenges?
No, I don't think
Okay,
so.
so it's like
Maybe you
basically
didn't. I wasn't listening. But
okay, so there's like seems to be like two different kinds, and there seems to be like part of them are kind of like lean more towards like the cuckold, and then also towards more of like the wives who go out and have single dates and then come back and tell their husbands about them, and they go out
okay,
and do these things and like don't really like have it planned out in advance, and then come home and tell their husbands like the dirty things they did. So there's those two categories. And then there's ones where like the husband comes up with like these more like sort of voyeuristic, exhibitionist, you know, kinky, you do this sort of thing, tells her, the wife, or like they come up with it together, sort of. And there's challenges like the challenges are like, like flash your panties to the shoe salesman, or, something of that nature,
gotcha.
right? And the ones that are more like the cuckold, and then there's like the ones, I mean, they go extreme to, more like, hey, I fucked the busboy at the restaurant today.
Nice.
So anyway, that's
Lucky
sort of
him.
right. That's sort of where I was thinking, like, because I started coming up with kind of like a little, like a short list of ideas. And so I was looking at some of those, and I came up with a couple of ideas that we might put on our bingo card. Not the like probably like come home and tell you I fucked the busboy. That might probably be extreme for us. It's
Maybe.
not really like our scene. So anyway, and then we'll come up with some ideas for what we want to do, like what we want for a prize or what we want to get or what we want to like do if we get a 5 in a row. And then I guess if you get a blackout, like the whole thing, you should get like to go on a vacation. You're
There
like,
you go.
I mean, like that's a lot of things to do. Like I'm not sure you're gonna get that like all of those done really all that early. Are you seriously texting me suck my cock and my hard cock? You're
No,
funny.
I'm making edits on your outline, on your
Oh,
masturbation outline.
that's awesome. That's funny. All right. Well, hun, I think that is like all I kind of had, unless you have some ideas, let people know.
Um, no, no,
Okay. Well,
not
so,
really. Just don't get caught masturbating in public, you know. That I've heard that'll get you in trouble.
well, don't get caught today on uh, International Outdoor Intercourse Day having outdoor intercourse, because that'll get you on a list too. So be careful with your
Make sure it's not
outdoor
within
inter,
500 foot of a school or 1,000 foot of a school or something, you know. I mean, like
yeah,
take
like just nowhere
precautions not to
near
get
a
put on
school.
the offender registry.
Yeah, nowhere near a school. That's a good idea. So, but I will, I mean, I'm just saying, like, put on your Batman mask and do something that you've never done before, and maybe outdoor intercourse is your can be your new
Or
adventure
masturbation,
or outdoor masturbation, or
either
just
or.
rather just regular masturbation, I guess you could.
You know, and as they said, if video or it didn't happen. So don't be coming and bragging to us unless you got some video evidence or something.
Yes, you can share your video evidence on our Twitter page, or you can share it on our Reddit. Don't share it on our Instagram, or if you're private, you just want to email your private your private videos to maywildwest@gmail.com. I'll now have an entire inbox full of porn and dick pics.
As I was saying, I encourage everyone to send May Wild West some masturbation porn.
There you go. This should be exciting. So, alrighty then.
I mean, like, and if the more the shocking, the better, because I'll laugh. Look what I can do, Dad.
Oh my God. The question is how many
If
people
anybody
get your
gets that
reference?
reference, you're probably our type of
Old.
people.
You're
Old.
old. My kind of people, you're old. So, anyway, that I think is all we got today. Make sure that you email us your masturbation videos and also your ideas for our blackout bingo cards, as well as, oh, your adventures. You can tell us what your adventures are. maywildwest@gmail.com. So, thank you and have a great day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
So that's all for us today. I want to remind everybody to subscribe and check out my social media for more inappropriate shenanigans. I have X, Reddit, and Instagram, as well as FetLife, Facebook, and a website. That link and those to my social media will be in the podcast description. You'd be my hero for real if you'd check out my social media pages, put a review on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you listen, or share my podcast with your other inappropriate friends. So, if you had a good time with me today, and I'm always a good time, please subscribe so you don't miss out on a single riveting story, shocking confession, or just something dirty and funny. I love hearing your feedback, so feel free to message me on any of my social media. Thanks, and remember, if you can be Batman, always be Batman.